Hello, welcome to Talking Politics with Peter Beimers. I am Peter Beimers. If you like this sort of thing, like and subscribe, and click the bell for notifications, and feel free to share as well. That's right, I am a two-time candidate for the New Blue Party, and 2 elections ago, the first one I ran in, I was running for Kitchener Center. In downtown Kitchener in Victoria, I'm sure if you're in the area, you know exactly what's there. A major tent city homeless encampment. And the question is, what do we do about these people? Can we get them out? Can we get them help? And what a recent judge has just decided is that their homeless encampment is protected. It is, quote unquote, beyond an individual's control. So they're allowed to be there, they're protected to be there, and their tent is now their permanent home, regardless of whose property it actually is. The judge says that they are protected and it's their every right to be there. So then, poor life choices were made for them out of their consent, without their consent, says this judge. That is what his decision implies. The judge also implies that because this is beyond their individual control, that's going to take away any personal responsibility of these homeless individuals, such as drug use, financial decisions, criminal activity. It's all not them. They're just victims of their own responsibility or of their own choices, and they bear no responsibility for their own actions. It's as if they were presumably everything that happened to them get them to that place they had no knowledge of, and then boom, one day they woke up in a tent on some dude's lot. Of course, that's nonsense from this woke leftist judge. If anything, it was their poor choices that made it that makes it understandable why they're homeless. It's their poor choices that tells us why they are and where they are because of what they did. And yes, it is their right to make decisions, but it also bears that in these poor decisions comes responsibility. What they chose, they have to bear the responsibility of. Responsibilities that they do need to accept, not just escape and to lay blame or let a judge lay blame elsewhere to try and release them of their own responsibility. And of course, yes, we should feel bad for them, but to say they have the right to now live in a tent wherever they please has massive consequences. And we're going to look at a few of them. One is that it lessens, I believe, first and foremost, it's going to lessen compassion. It's going to lessen a sense of urgency on various levels of government to help. It's their right becomes let them be. Rather than getting the ones that want to have help, who want to clean up their lives, there's less urgency to help them because, well, that tent has now become their right. There's a less need for compassion to even step in. It's estimated that over 80% of those who are homeless are that way because of mental health issues, drug use, or a combination of the two. Now, with this judge's recent decision, they're saying they don't need to escape those responsibilities. Uh, it's it's as if being mentally ill or drug addicted has now been rubber stamped as a protected lifestyle choice, one that's obviously beyond their control. They didn't choose to be a drug addict. They just had it chose for them. They didn't choose to have mental illness, which is probably a case in many of them. But uh, now they don't even the choice to seek help has been taken away from them because now their tent has become their personal and permanent residence. And since mental health is such a common theme running through these encampments, along with drug use and poor choices, rather than just letting them live there, why not build or reopen asylums, big hospitals, to bring them in, to give them treatment, to give them help, to give them the counseling that they need, that they so obviously, very desperately need. Is our government so depraved that they're just waiting for the homeless situation to reach a breaking point where, rather than just simply offering aid, which according to the expanded definition they qualify for, are they going to have that decision made for them? Are they going to be mated as some others have been already had that choice made for them so far? Is this decision going to be made on the homeless now? I don't believe that's so far-fetched an option for this government to do. Now, when I saw this story on social media, I, of course, right away clicked some of the comment section to see what people were saying. And by far, the most common theme running through this is homeowners asking, well, why should I even pay my mortgage then? Is it beyond perhaps beyond my control to pay my mortgage? Why don't I just default on my loans, declare my home a homeless encampment, pitch a tent in the front yard or backyard, and just live there? It's my right. Why should I bother paying my mortgage when these people are having their permanent homes or their temporary homes declared permanent residencies, this so called tent city? I'm also wondering, should homeowners start to worry about a protected tent showing up on their front lawn? Perhaps if a tent's going to show up on a front lawn, perhaps it should be this judge. It also removes justice. Now, this decision made by the judge was in the name of justice, but exactly who was justified? Who paid the penalty for a crime? What wrong was righted? And those are all rhetorical questions. You know the answer. Certainly, there was no rights uh, corrected for the property owners, for the businesses that these encampments occupy. In fact, an injustice was perpetrated on these businesses and property owners. And now, for the foreseeable future, nothing's going to be removed because there's no urgency to remove nor help these people. How can a business work, expand, or even build if a tent city has declared that this that a property that they didn't own is now theirs simply because they pitched a tent? I also think that it might take away hope for many of the homeless in these tent cities who are beginning to wake up to the seriousness of their situation and they want out. Who's going to come for them now? Who will come alongside him or her now? Because for them now they're beginning to realize that the choices that got them there, they now also have the power to choose to get themselves out of there if they absolutely want to change their ways. But who's going to help them now? The judges just declared their situation out of their control. That's their life now. Their now formerly temporary situation is now a permanent solution. It's a protected site. No shelters need to be built because tents have now become a permanent fixture rather than in our cities. So let's just call it for what it really truly is: judicial virtue signaling. Thinking something good is being done, but in reality, it's just making a very bad situation much, much worse. So yes, let's reopen, let's build asylums. If there's a negative connotation to the name asylum, call it something else. Let's get these things built so that these people can come get the drug treatment, the life training that they so desperately need so they can get out of the situation. Drug, medical, counseling, and help to get out of a lifestyle that perpetually keeps them homeless. Let's do that instead of just declaring a tent a viable option. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded, and feel free to share as well. Thanks for watching. I'm Peter Beimers, and we'll see you next time. And the Jays seem to be doing better lately. They can't afford any more injuries. They've already got a pretty good team on the injured list, if you were to look at them all. And so I am hopeful, anyways, that they'll see 500 by June 1st.